Well, I am not doing a cooking video today because it's a Friday and we always have family date night. So, unless we're going to do it on a Saturday. But this week we're doing it tonight. So I won't be in the kitchen. I just wanted to check in with everybody. I have family that lives in Florida still. My mom and my son live down there. And a lot of our friends. And to say that I'm not worried is an understatement. I'm totally freaking out. This storm is catastrophic. I don't know, what I don't know how bad it's going to be. It looks like it keeps moving more and more west. I mean, the only thing we could hope for is that it completely misses Florida and just keeps going. But I don't think so, because normally once it gets, I believe it's going to take the same kind of track as like the hurricanes did in 2004. I'm hoping that it turns right before it gets at an angle to hit Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay would be completely annihilated. We're going to keep everybody in Florida in our prayers. I have friends that are not evacuating only because they can't. They've got multiple animals like me. You can't take, 4 dogs to a shelter. They limit the amount of pets that you can bring. Tank, I'm on the thing. Wouldn't be my videos, I'm telling you. Anyway, just keep everybody in Florida and everybody that's in the path of this storm in your prayers. I have never seen one this big. I do remember Andrew, and this is way bigger than Andrew. I don't know. I've been maybe I shouldn't be watching the news. I'm watching the Weather Channel, and I'm hearing it over and over again. So going out to dinner might be a good thing. Kind of pull me away from the TV. I'm worried because my mom has to work. She has to man the evacuation shelter, so she has to leave my son at home with the 2 dogs to go and work. Now my mother, she's 74 years old and she still works, and they've got her driving what would be the equivalent of a 35-minute drive to go work at a shelter for 12 hours and then drive that back. And so she works on Sunday from 8 to 8 when it should be hitting. So that has me even more nervous. Or the fact that my son is going to be home by himself. Now, my son's not little. He's 22 years old, but he's always going to be my baby. And that worries me. It'll be his first time in his whole life that he's ever been alone for something catastrophic like this. And he does have Asperger's, so a lot of times his anxiety levels get out of hand. And so I downloaded that Zolo or whatever so that he can walkie-talkie me back and forth. So it doesn't look good for the United States at all. I think North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, I think we're going to be feeling this effect of this storm for, at least until mid next week. It's bad. It's a bad storm. And then you got Jose right out there, and we're hoping that he's just going to turn and go right back out in the water, but who knows. And then there's another thing off the back end of him. So keep the South in your prayers. I mean, we already had Harvey, and that was devastating, and Houston's still reeling from that, and now we're getting ready to have another state go into disaster. So keep everybody in your thoughts, everyone. Be nice to each other. I was talking to friends of mine down there where people were fighting over gas pumps, and one guy pulled a gun on another person over a gas pump. It's not helping. It's not going to help. You've got to keep your head on your shoulders. And you got to put a lot of faith in God at this point. I mean, you just got to, well, like they've been saying, you got to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. It's something that everybody needs to be praying about and everybody needs to be thinking about, you know, and this gets everybody, I mean, there's different disasters that can happen all across this nation at any time. And, you know, another thing people don't realize is there's nuclear power plants down in Florida. And, you know, they say that they're protected, but we all know from other disasters in the past that things can happen. So keep that in mind. You know, just keep it in your thoughts. And this should get everybody know. Prepare for the minor stuff. You don't know. You know, even up here where I live now, I left Florida, so I don't get hurricanes anymore, but we have ice storms and snowstorms. You know, not as big as New York snowstorms, but the ice storms get really bad up here, and sometimes you can be a week without power. You know, so you have to be prepared, you know, which is why I always can. And, you know, it's not much, but it's something. You know, I'm getting a gas grill, you know, and things like that. Those are important to have. And extra propane tanks filled, you know. So I told my, that's one of the things I asked my mother. Do you have your propane tank full? Oh, no, I need to go get up and go get it. Go get it filled before they run out of propane. You know, grab some charcoal just in case. I mean, you would ruin your grill, your gas grill, but oh well. You know, if you have to feed your family and you're out of propane and you have no way to get propane, you know, you're going to have to go to charcoal. You know, fill up the gas tanks. They weren't letting anybody get extra gas. So if you had, you know, you couldn't say, well, fill up both cars and then get a tank of gas, you know, in one of those plastic gas cans. You weren't allowed to do that. They had that, pardon me, they had that at the beginning, and people were taking advantage. I mean, there was a video of one guy, he had over 36 gas cans in his trailer. Why? You know why? So he could go and sell it for more money. They had price gouging. My mom said one of the gas stations bumped the gas up to over $7 a gallon. I don't know about where you guys live, but it's $2.34 here in Grandview, Missouri. There should be no reason. I don't know anywhere that it's $7 a gallon. You know, it's, you know, they're out of ice. So, you know, I told my mom, I said, make sure you freeze bowls. Get your Rubbermaid bowls, you know, your little Tupperware. Fill them up with water, put them in your freezer. That way they'll freeze before the power goes out. That will help. It'll work like a cooler. That'll help keep it cool. You know, just little things like that. Fill up your bathtub full of water. Go out and get a couple extra garbage cans. Fill them up with water. You know, these are things that people have to think about. You know, fill up some cups, put some styrofoam or cellophane on top of them. You know, use them for drinking water before you use your bottled water. You know, you do what you have to do. I've been through a couple of these storms, and, you know, I remember being a kid and being through ice storms. So I remember how prepared my mom and dad were. I mean, we always had, well, I mean, run, get the bathtubs filled up, because we always had 2 bathrooms. So get both bathtubs filled up and fill up the washing machine. You know, made sure we did all the bedding and all the laundry before it hit. And, you know, people need to stop and think about that. And, you know, I'm sitting here watching the news, and there's people out in the waves, and I'm nervous for them. The undertow and the rip currents under that water have to be just crazy, you know. And, you know, I just really worry, because some people just don't think to protect themselves. They put themselves in harm's way, which is why all the sheriffs through all the counties in Florida have said, if you do not evacuate and you are in your home and you have a heart attack or something happens, a stroke, something, you get into a need where you need 911, we are not coming. you know, and people just stay and they stay and they stay, and it makes me nervous. So I just gotta put it all up in the air and just ask that we send a bunch of prayers to protect. This is even, I mean, this is probably, well, they've already said this is the biggest hurricane in history since they started being documented. So anyway, I've just been rambling on. There's a lot on my mind. You guys have a lovely day and a glorious weekend. Please keep the people in Florida in your prayers. I will not be on this weekend. I will be focusing on watching the news, communicating with my family and my friends. And, well, we got to do a couple things with the baby girl because she's been good this week in school. So, try to keep myself occupied. I got a family dinner on Sunday where I've got like 8 people coming. So, I've got that to try to keep my mind busy, but we know how that goes. My mind goes all over anyway. You all have a lovely weekend. I hope and pray that you're all safe. And I will be checking back in on Monday. Love y'all.